Hey y'all. Hey. Thank you so much yet again for joining me. I'm your girl Shayla Raye, and I am a woman who is passionate about women and things that involve women, particularly black women. Um, I have been um, doing several different lives. Hold on, something ain't working here. Let me see. Hmm. Gotta see if I can figure this out. Oh yeah, create stream. Okay. Hey y'all, it's your girl Shayla Raye. I am here to talk about hysterectomies. I am having my hysterectomy in less than 48 hours, and we're going to have a great candid conversation with my homegirl Jenna. If you don't know me, I am a relationship coach, um, and I'm just for women. I am the voice of women, and I'm particularly the voice of black women. But we are talking about the things that we do not talk about. And I felt like this was the absolute perfect time for me to, and I'm just going to get on Instagram here too. This was the absolute perfect time for me. We're live. Okay, perfect. This was the absolute perfect time for me to share my journey with the fact that I was faced with needing a hysterectomy. Um, I'm relatively young, but for the last 10 years, I have been battling my cycles, heavy periods, um, to the point where you're needing blood transfusions, you're needing iron infusions, you're constantly, chronically tired. And I've been battling it for a pretty long time, but I ended up basically enduring some really chronic stress. You know, like one of those years that you have that's just like, this is a tough year. This is a tough year. This was 2023 for me. And I was just burnt out, stressed out from work, stressed out from life. I'm barely staying afloat. Super, super sorry. Say hi to Coco. Yes, she is gorgeous. She is. And she's a girl too. Because we're girls over here, okay? But stressed out to the max. Really, really just depleted. In 2024, I was 40 pounds heavier due to the chronic stress, and I was tired. I wasn't sleeping at night. I have fibroids that sit on my uterus, and it makes me have to go to the bathroom literally all night long. I was suffering and still am suffering. And so many women are suffering, and it's time for us to talk about it and to give each other knowledge. I'm really excited tonight. My homegirl Jenna reached out to me, and this is another thing. So many people have been showing me so much love. And if you're on YouTube, I do want to say subscribe, follow, share, all of that. But so many people have been reaching out to me, thanking me for my vulnerability. I've been receiving so many prayers, but Jenna was one that reached out to me, like several people that I did not know had this same issue, or had a similar issue, or had a story to tell around her uterus, and I have been asking few people, just a few people, if they would come on lives. And her story is just, I really think it's going to help so many women. And so I'm really excited to have her on. I'm about to bring her in. But I want you guys to share this. Share this with folks. People need to hear this conversation. It is very, very important. I am having my hysterectomy in less than 48 hours. Today is November 10th, 2025. I am having my surgery November 12th, 2025. And so a lot of psychological things, a lot of things to get ready and prepare for, but I'll share that story. And one interesting thing, and I'm about to bring Jenna in. Hold on, Jenna. I'm going to bring you in. This was a very interesting thing, and I'm going to have to do a short about it. But I literally was staring at the period app on my phone for like 30 minutes, like, I'm about to erase you, because I ain't never got to track my period again. Look at God. Look at God. Okay, Jenna. Jenna's here. Let's bring you on in. Jenna, let's see. This stuff be having like little technical. Hey, Jenna. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
Girl, we gonna get all the way into it. It is a lot going on over here in my head, my mind, my body, my spirit. And when you reached out to me, first of all, she saw the live that I did with Janae, and you saw a couple other lives. Tell them the story. Tell them the story.
Yeah, I was just on my phone randomly at night, should have been asleep, scrolling, and I saw Shayla. You had, I don't know what it was, but you were talking, and I was like, wait a minute. And then I read the hashtag, and it said hashtag hysterectomy. I was like, wait a minute, is she getting? And then I scrolled, and I saw it was the part 3 with the other young woman. And I listened to that. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so right on time because I'm about to face this in December. So I said, well, let me go back and look at the other parts. And then I was just scrolling through, period. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing how right on time this is because I really haven't been discussing this with anyone outside of my physicians, and I just kind of felt like I wanted to keep it a secret
Mm.
because of the limited sharing that I had done. It just kind of went sideways, and it left me feeling like I need to just experience this as quietly as possible, go through it however I need to go through it, but keep it to myself. And I didn't really want to, but I felt like I needed to until I was scrolling and saw what you were doing. So, thank you
No,
for
thank you.
being so
Thank
transparent
you.
and sharing, because I was like, wow,
Thank you
this is
for doing this. No, thank you for doing this live because I've asked a couple of people to do it, and some people have said yes, and some people have said maybe, and some people have said no. This is a very, very sensitive topic. It's one that we're not really talking about a ton, and it's scary. It's scary to talk about because it's stuff that comes up in us, like I didn't know I felt that way, but I'm praying and I'm hoping that this live is like therapy for both of us and that we just help one person. That's my goal. My goal is just if I help one person or if we help one person and we shed light on something that has affected us and we don't talk about it, then we have done our job. So, Jenna, tell us a little bit about just what you have been experiencing. I'll start with me. I know for me, and I'm figuring out symptoms that I didn't even know that I had. First of all, obviously always having heavy bleeding, headaches, drained and tired, low iron, just chewing ice. That was really a big girl. I'm an ice connoisseur, girl. I'll tell you all the best ice.
ice is my jam. Do you hear me? I have bought a bag because you can buy. I have bought a bag of Sonic. Okay, short story. I was working out of town in Montgomery, Alabama. I bought a bag of Sonic ice. It probably lasted me like 4 days.
Girl, you about to make me go to find a Sonic tomorrow because they do have the best ice. I didn't know you could buy a bag of it.
Yes. Yes, you just asked them. At least way back then.
What? Girl.
I
See?
should send you a picture. I have a picture at work. It was in my freezer.
Girl. And then when my homegirl, she had a myomectomy like a couple of weeks ago, and she was saying that one of the fibroids was sitting on her bladder, and I was like, oh my gosh, I remember that I have a fibroid sitting on my bladder, which it makes me have to go to the bathroom all night. I can barely make it to the gym because I'm drinking water to hydrate. And by the time I sit in traffic, this Atlanta traffic, and I get there, I'm like, oh my gosh, am I going to make it? And just stomach pain, mood, just so much stuff that women go through. Eve, girl, we are struggling, okay? And I ended up having uterine fibroid embolization by Dr. Littman. He's like a pretty well renowned doctor that does that specific procedure. They go in through your growing, it's less invasive. They cut off the blood supply to cause the fibroids to shrink. I got that in January 2024. They did shrink, and I think that is what's going to make it possible for me to potentially get laparoscopic. It's not guaranteed. I'm not going to find out until I'm on the table, my doctor said, of whether she can do the laparoscopic surgery. But we will see. And they did shrink as a result of me getting UFE. But tell us a little bit about your journey.
Man, well, my journey goes all the way back. I was in grad school in Dallas, and I noticed, well, actually, I take it back. It was before then. I was at a relative's. I was in Spanish Harlem for a summer. And not to be too explicit or TMI, but I guess that's what we're doing. I noticed a shift in my cycles. I would towards the end, and I was so lucky. I was never like on the train or somewhere. I always have happened to be in the bathroom or the shower, but I would always have these severe cramps, like you're doubling over. And
Mm.
I would emit massive clots. And when I say massive, I'm not talking like this, I'm talking like this, where I was like, what is going on? Yeah, and still, nothing in me said I should get checked out. I was like, well, I guess this is just a part of like the period cycle, and maybe this is just what my body's going through right now, and it'll change. So I had a few cycles like that.
Mm-hmm.
Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear
I
me?
see you swirling on my end, or maybe it's me.
Sorry, it's me. It's me. I'm back.
Okay.
It's
All right.
my daughter is downstairs getting her hair done, and girl, it's just a lot of moving parts trying to get everything done before my surgery. So I'm
Oh,
listening
yeah.
though. I'm listening. Are you with me? Oh jeez. Jenna.
I just, am I
Jenna.
still here?
Okay, I can hear you, but you're like frozen.
Okay.
Okay, there you go. Okay, perfect. Are you in there?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is it back on?
Yeah, it's back on.
Let's see.
Okay. Is it back on? Jenna? We might have to reboot this because I done messed it up. Kendall, you're gonna have to do it yourself. I can't. Jenna. Let me
Are
see.
you there?
Yeah, can you see me?
I cannot see you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can see you and everything. That is so weird.
So you can hear me.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't see you. Should I X out and come back in?
Yeah, come back in. Let's figure this out. Kendall, you can put something on the pot on the stove, okay? Put the pot on the stove with water. I can't do it though because I'm on live. Okay, let's see if we can get Jenna back. Okay, let's see. Something happened, but Jenna was telling us her story. Hey, sissy. Jenna, can you see me now? Okay,
Yes.
good. Good, good, good. Okay, so keep going. You noticed a major change in your cycle. You had extreme cramps.
Right. And then that stopped. And then it wasn't until a good, I don't know, 6 or so years later that I noticed my periods were longer and heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier. And I'm like, what is going on? And I found out I had fibroids. They were like, oh, you have an enlarged uterus. And I'm like, okay, so what does that mean?
So did you, when you went to the doctor, did you just come to them with these symptoms and they had to order a test, or they said, we need to do an ultrasound?
So what first happened, I was in grad school. I went to the clinic there, right? Because I didn't have insurance. And she's like, you have an enlarged uterus. And I'm like, okay, what does that mean? And she was like, well, you must have fibroids. And I'm like, okay, so what does that mean? She's like, well, I can just put you on birth control. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't want birth control. I want to know like what's going on. And she's just busy writing me a prescription. She's like, here. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Months went by, went back. I got a different physician and she was explaining it to me. And she said, but here's the thing. You need to see a doctor so they can do tests so they can see exactly what's going on. But I didn't have insurance. So I was like up a creek for a few years. And when I finally got some, I found out the severity of everything that was going on. And mind you, during this whole time, I was severely anemic and had no clue. No clue I would fall asleep. I used to drive. I was living in Dallas. I worked maybe 25 minutes outside of Dallas, but I worked the graveyard shift. So I would get off in the morning and it would take me about an hour to get back. No joke. Thank God, whenever I would fall asleep, my foot would hit the brake. So I would wake up to people honking at me.
Mm.
But more often than not, I always had to pull over in like a fast food parking lot, a hotel parking lot, and go to sleep before I could finish the drive back home. And I would fall asleep at stoplights. I was always bad.
That's
It was that
me. That's me. I literally one time with my daughter. Oh, this is don't call CSB or nothing on me or Child Protective Services or nothing. But
Oh my God.
you heard me, Kendall. I was driving her to school and I was so exhausted that I mean, it was like a quick nod, but it was like, and she was like, "Mommy," and I'm like, "Oh my God, like, what in the world?" I was so tired. And when I dropped her off, I literally pulled over into her school parking lot and had to sleep before I left.
See? See? Yep, that was my regular routine. It became regular, and I would wake up and still be tired,
Yep.
and still have to, finish the drive.
Yeah.
But that became my normal, and I'll never forget a coworker saying, "Maybe you're just tired because you need to work out," and I'm like, "Yeah, you're right. I started doing P90X."
Oh my gosh. Just to try to test that you needed to work. And girl, all along, you ain't got no blood or iron in your body.
I got a call from my doctor saying I should be sending you to ER to get a transfusion, but I think we can bring it up with, you know, super iron pills or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's what it was. And she's telling me about this nasty cut she's gonna have to give me, up from the pelvis, around the belly button, and further up on the stomach. And I'm like, woman, that's like a battle wound. I don't even have any children. I was 32
Wow.
at the time. And she said, oh, and my patients have to sign a waiver that if there's blood loss we can't control during surgery, we give you an automatic hysterectomy. And I'm like, no, no,
Oh
not
my
doing that,
gosh.
not
And
doing
this
that.
was
So
at
in the
32 years
meantime,
old. This was
she
at
put
32 years old. You're so young. You don't have a child already. And see, this is what I want people to understand from a psychological
I
standpoint. And what is so unique to me about hysterectomies is that you almost have to suffer to the point of no return because you are up against your fertility. And we're groomed to, you're gonna have baby, you're gonna get married, you're thinking that this is going to be your life, and here all along, and this is common.
so it's supposed to put you in temporary menopause because she was thinking if we could just stop your cycle, maybe they could shrink some. It was awful. I was having not 3 hot flashes a day. I had a tick sheet. I would have like 20.
Oh my god.
It was miserable. And I remember calling one time saying, I need something. She was like, I can like have estrogen, ordered for you, but it's gonna start your cycle. I was like, I don't care. I took it, I felt wonderful. Boom. It started immediately. But it never ended my cycle fully. That's how bad it was. So I was spotting for all of those months. So it was like I'd rather have had, a 9-day period than to spot every day for 3 months.
Right. I mean, think about your life, and people don't realize I have trauma from, maybe feeling a gush, or something happening, and I'm spotting, and I'm like, what? And I might be in a meeting at work. I might be, doing something, and I'm just like petrified or mortified that this is happening. And it could just happen out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. And once I decided I wasn't settled with that position, I remember I just looked up other treatment options that I knew weren't for me because it was supposed to render you infertile. But somehow I landed on this like site where women were just explicitly, they were naming doctors. They were naming doctors they hated. They were naming doctors they loved. And I found one and I was like, this sounds too good to be true. And I remember going to his website and it was called like second opinion fibroid surgery or something like that. He showed actual surgeries, on his website.
Oh,
he had removed,
wow.
like all of these fibroids from this woman. And I was like, okay, wait a minute. This sounds too good to be true. But he was in Santa Monica. I flew out there. I had my mom fly out there with me because I was like, he'd probably tell me anything.
You really was looking for the best doctor countrywide, honey. Wow.
The insurance I had would cover him. I'm like, okay. And we went, and I knew I was sold on him because he was like, well, one of your options is that you don't have to do anything at all. You don't have to.
How comforting is that? How comforting was that? Because you're faced with the huge decision, that is very permanent in the decision that you make. I mean, this is a hard decision to make. And I tell anybody, if you don't have children, it's almost impossible. Like Janae, who I interviewed, I did a live with, she has one child, but she was the first person that I've ever met that went straight to a hysterectomy.
Wow.
Everybody else that I know, especially if you don't have kids, you're going to try to find some alternative option to save your uterus first.
Right, which is exactly what I did. And he was just saying, I mean, if you don't do anything, of course your symptoms will get worse. But I liked him because he was kind of cocky, right? He was like, well, let me tell you what will happen in my hands. In my hands, this will happen. In my hands, this will happen. I don't have my patients sign that waiver because that's not going to happen in my hands. And that cut, the cut, she wanted to go up and around and then up. He was like, nobody really does that anymore. That's like an old
ancient. Yeah, and that's another thing. Because my normal gynecologist, he didn't tell me about the laparoscopic. Because he wanted to do my surgery. And he was just going to go straight to, he doesn't know how to do the laparoscopic. So it was really me and my own curiosity and onus that was like, let me Google and search and see if there's some other maybe less evasive options for me. And that's how I found the doctor that I'm going to now.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. But yeah. So I went with him, had that surgery out in California, and I could actually say everything that was written about him. I was like, that was actually true.
So you had a good experience. Now, but tell people what tell people what procedure you got and what that means.
Oh, so a myomectomy is basically like you're getting a C-section incision, and what he did, like I saw the pictures, they actually pulled my uterus out of my body. You could see it was like this large.
Oh my gosh.
And then it went down to like this. They removed 22 fibroids.
All different shapes and sizes.
I mean, my liver was sitting on a fibroid. You could see, I was at my, like in his notes, I was at a 24-week size uterus. So I was so uncomfortable, horribly uncomfortable. But then fast forward now, I am a woman of a certain age, right? I'm 46. So now, once I started a few years ago, a period a little too long, bleeding a little too heavy, I was like, oh. But I feel like I was in more denial because I was like, I know the conversation is going to be different now with a physician. They're going to be talking, let's get it out instead of let's preserve. And then I'm feeling like, but I still don't have kids. But then at this point, you're like trying to just figure everything out.
Yeah.
And I do have this weird attachment to wanting my uterus. And I really feel like as a Black woman,
Mm.
I felt like I just didn't want to be, cut on like you're some experiment. I'm just another woman whose organs are taken out. And I was going to a hematologist here, Black man. He phenomenal. And he really did impress on me. He was like, there are so many options before hysterectomy, even in your case. So I think I went a little longer with hopes,
Yeah.
but it was like the point of no return. And then I had I'm going to get it wrong, what it's called. Oh gosh, I may have to tell you later. Maybe you
Yeah.
can tell your audience, but I had a procedure done in which it was supposed to help with the bleeding.
Mm.
So they removed some fibroids, of course, not all, because they went in vaginally.
Mm. Mm. There's so
Like,
many procedures. There's so
right.
many different procedures you can get.
And I have a Black female physician, but unfortunately, it was like nothing happened, nothing changed. If
Mm.
anything, I had more things to deal with. So, what has happened as a result, if I'm going to be fully transparent, is I also have just like vaginal discharge
Yeah.
daily.
Yeah.
But instead of like, I'm being very explicit,
Yes.
it's like water. It's like hot water. You're
Yeah.
just sitting and moving. You're like, whoa, what was that?
Right.
So
I've had that
I,
too.
it's the strangest. You don't know when it's coming. It
Yeah.
just comes.
Right. A
And
gush.
like,
And you like what?
I, right. You're like, what was that? I don't know what it was. But what did I do? And why did I stop moving? And why is it hot? And why, you're just like,
Yes.
so I wear period panties like every day of the week
Yeah.
because I don't have the time mentally or physically to deal with that. And I hate that feeling because every waking moment of my life, I'm dealing with my vagina. Like there's some
Yeah.
vaginal uterine issue, and it's
Yeah.
just exhausting. It's
Yeah.
tiring on top of that. I don't even want to explain what I do when I have a regular period. Like, I have doggy pads. Like, let me tell you, Keisha, Keisha. The last time I
Yeah.
was in Atlanta to see her, my body wanted to lose its mind. I'm at the Atlanta airport. I probably have on 6 pads. Tampons, haha, never could do tampons, right?
Never.
I go through security. Of course, it sets it off and it's like signaling that region down there. And they're like, we just need to pat you down. I'm like, can I have a private room? Because I'm like, they gonna pat me down, and the glove's gonna be a bloody glove. Right? It's gonna be a bloody glove, and I'm
Right.
looking.
Right.
So I go to a private room. There are 2 other Black women, and I say, okay, ladies, I'll just be straight up. I got like 6 pads on. I'm bleeding to death. So just be careful. They're like, oh, girl, we understand. Oh, it's okay. And I'm like, but it's not, because I'm sick of this shit. Like it just to even have to disclose what you're going through when
Yeah.
you don't want to.
Yeah.
And I know on this flight to Detroit, I'm still like, I have a newspaper. I'm trying to sit on that because I know I got limited time before it's a disaster. I'm trying to discreetly get rid of that. And then I go in the bathroom and I'm like,
Those little bathrooms on the planes on your period.
So I wait till we get to Detroit, go there, and it's like 11:30, and I'm like, either I break down or I just put on my big girl panties and do what I have to do to clean myself up, change everything, and it's like, this is too much. It's just too much. So fast forward to talking to my physician now, who thought maybe laparoscopic could be an option, and there was something else. I can't remember the name of that procedure either. She was like, talk to my colleague. I knew her colleague was going to be like, no. And she was like, I'm so sorry. It's not an option. It's too big. So now I'm at a 28-week uterus. So I can't even I'm looking at like regular clothes. Like I have a certain amount of clothes that I can wear to try and hide, my belly because, yeah, I look very pregnant. And talking with her, she brought up that battle. She was like, I hate to tell you, that scar And I'm like breaking down
Mm.
because I'm like, all I've been through, like, I need, okay, fine, you're gonna have to open me back up, but I can't. I gotta have something that I can live with. I don't feel like I can live with that. And I don't even have a child to bear witness to say, like, this is why I have this battle, right?
Mm.
And so we
Yeah.
talked, and she was like, okay, well, wait. Well, maybe I can pull. And I was like, yes, you can pull the uterus out. I said, I had a physician. That's exactly what he did. And so she's working through it. And I hats off to her because she said, okay, I think we'll be able to do it like that. Matter of fact, your doctor, I'm going to contact her. I'm going to see if we can't do the surgery together. So both of us will be in there doing this procedure, making sure that you're comfortable. Because she reiterated, she's like, we actually can't just do whatever we want to do to you. We're not allowed to do that. Like, you have to be comfortable with that. And so I just had to, or I feel like I just had to agree to this, partial hysterectomy, keeping the ovaries, because I was like, I'm miserable.
Yeah.
I want my body back.
Yeah.
I want my life back. I don't want to have to worry about a period, how long it's going to last, how long do I have on this pad before it's going to be, a crime scene.
Yeah.
Thinking about, like, okay, waking up every hour on the hour during the night.
Yeah.
But at the same time, seriously, like, mourning the loss of my uterus. And people are like, well, you should be glad to get rid of that thing. And I'm like, I'm not.
Right.
But I'm not. Like, we've been through it.
Yeah.
And I said to my doctor, I was like, do you think they'd let me keep it? And she kind of looked at me like, why would you? She's like, listen, you can ask pathology. You never know. Just ask. If you don't ask, you won't know, but you can ask. Because I know it may sound funny, but I'm like, I feel like I want to bury this thing. Like, it's done so much.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's done things against its will that it didn't want to do, but it's just like, my uterus is up to my.
So you haven't had the surgery yet?
I'm having my surgery December 16th.
So literally almost a month after mine, and you're having a hysterectomy.
Yes.
And so after your myomectomy, your fibroids grew back. What size is your uterus?
Let me tell you. So they said it's 28 weeks. I had to get another MRI. I looked at the screen and I couldn't look anymore because the amount of, like, it was just, I couldn't deal.
So many fibroids.
So many. I was like, I can't. It's going to take me over the edge if I see all of that.
So you just really got to the rubber meets the road, and you just were like, I can't suffer no more. Like, and that's really what we go through as women. It's like we have to suffer so much to get to a point where we say, and it's such a weird obsession with wanting to keep our uterus, because I wanted to do the exact same thing. I was like, maybe I could just figure it out, drink some juices,
You see online, they're like, oh, the fibroid remedy, do this, do that. And that's where I had the friends say certain things to me where I was like, I could have gone without hearing that because that wasn't helpful. Yeah. Especially like, well, it's because of what you've done that has created your situation. Mind you, up until like a year ago, I was a vegetarian for 10 years, always exercising. Now, did I have stress? Yes. But to be told you're causing it and ignoring, like, genetics, like, my mom has fibroids, but they never bothered her. But then on my dad's side, all my aunts had them, and then they all had hysterectomies.
So your mom didn't have a hysterectomy, but all your aunties.
It never affected her. So it's like having a double whammy. That predisposition, and people been saying, well, you're not taking care of yourself, you need to take this tea, you need to do this castor oil pack. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe it would have worked at the early stages, but I'm so far gone. Like, I don't think they really understand the type of suffering that we experience when you think about it all day, every day. Any little thing that happens down there, the fact that I may be more bloated one day than another, and now I have to wear this. I can't wear that. I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't even get on an ad machine, right? I can't do
Let's
any
forget
ad work.
about traveling and being on the beach and wanting to be in your swimsuit. And then you're tiny, Jenna. You're tiny, and you said that your stomach is measured at 28 weeks. That is what trimester? I don't know. It's near the closer to the end.
What is that, like 7 months or something?
Yeah.
So that's ridiculous, right? That's ridiculous. And so I didn't go. I love the beach. I didn't go this summer. I'm over here looking at, this is no not to any woman of any size, but looking at like a plus size bathing suit with the little like drapery or something to cover the stomach.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're not gonna be comfortable. Just I don't know.
Just don't go.
Just don't go, because someone's gonna run by or what might be like, oh my god, you're so cute, you're pregnant. And you're like, no, I'm not.
Girl.
And then you have that conversation. Or even today, how about this? Finally getting the paperwork, right? Of just a surgery date. And the woman saying to me, because it says, obstetrics and gynecology, and she's saying, oh, are you having a hysterectomy? And you're like, I'm sorry, what? Like, let's be professional. You just process the paperwork. But now my fear is I'm going to have to address it, because I don't want any, because I'm like, this is my private journey that you have no idea about. And I don't want it to be in the workplace. I don't want it to be on your lips. Like, you have no idea about how I feel about you flippantly saying, oh, you're having your hysterectomy. I didn't say that. The paperwork doesn't say that.
And she just said it.
Mm-hmm.
And you said something else that was very interesting. I feel like, okay, with this procedure that you're having, are they going to be able to do the normal cesarean cut? Because to your point, and this is what happened to one of my other girlfriends who had a similar situation as you, and she had to be cut from her breastbone down, to her belly button, and she had already had the C-section scar from the myomectomy that she had prior to, and she doesn't have any kids, and she's like, I have these scars across my stomach, and I don't have a baby to warrant that these scars are here. So it's almost like a constant reminder. And for her, she almost feels like she wished she would have jumped straight to the hysterectomy. But it's no possible way for you to be young, childless, and jump straight to such a permanent decision. It's just not going to happen.
No, and I remember that first doctor in California, he was very, even with him being a man, he was very like pro uterus, like about uterus preservation at all costs until. And he was like, you're still young enough. He said, I've witnessed people come in and they make decisions, and there are decisions you make that you can't reverse. You don't want to make a permanent decision and then life changes, and now you wish you could do something and now you can't.
Because there would be regret on that end. So you're really in almost a catch-22 type of situation where, I know some other friends that they got myomectomies, and now they're like, I'm not having a child. I should have just probably went straight towards the, now I'm about to go into menopause. Now I would have to have a whole nother surgery. Now the fibroids they've come
I
back.
mean, like I had shared with you, like on the last visit that I had when I was, out there, feeling good, whatever, and leaving the office and checking out, and the woman saying, "Oh my gosh, it's wonderful, everything." And she's like, "Well, I guess we'll see you in about 10 years, you know, because by then they'll be back, and you'll just get a hysterectomy." And I'm like, I felt like she was speaking over my life, and I remember like rebuking her, words in my head, but her words have lingered with me through all of these years because I'm like, I feel like she spoke into existence in a way what ended up happening, like where I naturally ended up, because I would pray, like, okay, if some fibroids come back, okay, but it's not going to be like this. It's not going to be how, but here I am again. And my real dread is I know what that healing process was like.
So are they going to be able to do the C-section like cut with the size of where your uterus is right now?
Yes.
Good.
And that's why they're gonna double team and work
Okay.
together.
Good.
Because, and I was glad, I'll give that doctor all her props of really like sitting there with me, excuse me, in that appointment and not rushing and like really like brainstorm. Like I was adamant, like I can't have that one. I can't. Like I'm not gonna lie. I felt in that moment, I'll just suffer till menopause, whatever, because I can't. It's too much of a reminder. And I know the process of even me being able to deal with the scar I had. And I was like, and so she worked it out, and then that's how she was saying, "Oh, we could pull it down," and I felt like I was side coaching her, like, "Yeah, you could pull it down. That's what the other doctor did. I got pictures if you want to see." Like, so she knew, like, yes, this is possible. Because for her, what she said to me is, I have the most extended uterus that she has seen in this state for her.
Yeah.
So I also feel for her, it would be to her benefit to do it in this way, because then it kind of gives her bragging rights to be like, "Oh, well, I dealt with someone whose uterus was this big, and I just gave a little."
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of incentive for her to do that, because she is a physician who prides herself on being minimally invasive.
Okay, well that is so how are you feeling? How are you feeling going into December 16th, you know, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, like how are you feeling?
Um, a part of me wants to hurry up and get it over with, but at the same time, I am dreading recovery,
Yeah.
because I know what being cut in the middle is. Listen, to any woman who's at a C-section, hats off to you, because I cannot imagine going through that and having a child to deal with. I remember when they first got me up out of the bed, I
Oh,
was
and
struggling
having a
with
child to deal with. Woo!
that. I don't know how you all do it, because
Me
I was
either.
bent over and I was like, "Oh no, no!" And then have a little baby. No, no way, no ma'am, no way, no way, no how.
Because it's
But
literally like, I mean, if you think about how you're cut, is you cut your skin, they move your muscle, they cut your uterus, they go in there, then they sew your uterus back up, push your little muscles
yes,
back, and then sew you up on the outside. That's really what it is.
yeah, he said he had to sew my abdomen muscles back together because they had been so. Which it's California. I was like, thank you, but
All right, give me a nip, give me a tuck.
right. That
Listen,
was the other. I was
because I'm
like,
trying to be in the
Dr.
best shape of my
King,
life after this hysterectomy, girl.
listen. The way I was like, I want my body back
Yeah.
fully. Like I exercise now, but I was like, I had to get over being embarrassed exercising with my full belly with these little tight shirts, and just like hope the treadmill can hide it enough, and just I was like, I gotta do what I gotta gotta do. So like I have like I'm dealing every day, like seriously, in ways people have no idea about. I
It's
try
such
to
a
hide.
duality, right? It's like you feel so many combined feelings at once. Excited and nervous, sad
Yeah,
and happy for a new life. You know, concerned about recovery but excited
yeah,
about when you have recovered, the life and the quality of life that you're going to have. It's these dual emotions, and to our point, like, we have an attachment to our uterus. It's something that's been in us. It's an organ that, we, were born to, and grew up to think that, oh, we're going to
right.
have kids and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. So it's so much history around it. So I really do understand your attachment to your uterus, because that's exactly how I felt. And there was a woman that I talked to at the gym, and she was just like, I was telling her about it, and she was just like, you should try not to have one if you can. I just believe in, people keeping your, organs. And she means well, right? She means well, but she doesn't understand that I'm wearing a diaper right now.
Yes, like you're suffering,
I'm
and
suffering.
yes, ideally, if you could, you would.
I don't think
Like,
anybody says I want to, because somebody sent me a message
I
today, a very sweet message, and she was like, well, I hope this is like something that you wanted to do, not something that you had to do. And I'm like, girl, it ain't never a want to do this. Okay, this is
right
not a want.
at
Okay,
all.
this is a must have need, where you get to the point of suffering so much where the rubber meets the road. And you know what was just resonating in my spirit today? Surrender. Surrender.
Listen, I have this ongoing thing with God, right? About belief. And I know God can do miraculous things at any point in time. And I'm like, God, if you want to bless me with that miracle of just, please do.
Yeah.
Yeah, until December 16th, about 9 o'clock. But, but
I
it's
get
fine.
it. I get it. I totally understand.
Because in a perfect world, yes, any other thing but this. But I don't think people who haven't gone through it or any of it, or even have any fibroids, they don't, or have fibroids that are causing them problems, right? I'll phrase it like that. Really understand. Like, I had a friend one time want to go for a walk, and I was like, girl, it's like day two of my period. Ain't no way. And she's like, well, and I'm like, please understand what I'm trying to tell you. I don't want, like, it's too much. I have to go through too much. I don't want to be on the walk and be like, oh, girl, it's like, we've been out here 40 minutes. I can't. I gotta. And then you want to be in a comfortable environment to do all that you got to do. I don't want to pack, 10 pads and extra panties and da da da. You're just trust that what I'm telling you is true, and just leave it at that, without the comments of, well, I would just do this. I just wear extra. I just said, and you're like, you have no idea. No
No
idea.
idea at all. Because your girl, I had a diaper, water, toilet paper, and an ultra tampon, and it still was just, I didn't know what was gonna happen. I really didn't know what was gonna happen. But Jenna, we are so happy that you talked to us. I hope this conversation, you know, was freeing for you, because I feel like there is a certain freedom that is going to come from us setting ourselves free from suffering in this
Yes.
way. And I definitely want to keep talking to you. I can't wait to, hear how your surgery goes. I know it's going to go well. And to your point, that
Yours
doctor
too.
is going to have street cred and say, hey, I did this successfully. Like, and she gonna have people knocking down her doors, because there are so many women who are suffering from this. And to our point, like a girlfriend of mine, she sent me her fibroids. I was like, oh my gosh, Those are like multiple kids. They took pictures of the fibroids that they removed, and I'm like, this wasn't built overnight. But we don't know what causes this. We don't know, it is tough. It is a very, very tough thing, but I wish you the best. I'm praying for you. I'm here for you. Call me anytime. And I do want to talk to you after my surgery, you know. But yeah,
Because
we're
yours is right around the corner on the
yeah.
12th. How are
Yep.
you feeling?
I am feeling the same way as you. Just, I have so many things to do. It's so many things to prepare for, and then, being a mom kind of is just like I gotta still figure out how to get my daughter to school. I still gotta figure out how to get her the things that she needs. My mom is flying in. That's why I gotta end this live soon because she's landing in 2 minutes. But
Oh, really?
but
Oh, right,
no,
right.
she's coming, but our parents are older, and she can't drive, she can't do all the things that she used to be able to do. So it's I still feel like, sorry, people keep calling me, sorry. I still feel like, I still have to do some things, but I'm going to have to sit down, and that's going to be good too. I'm going to be enjoying, healing properly. I'm not going to rush anything. I have the time off of work. Gratefully, we were employed, and, we had the insurance. There's so many blessings around it. And I'm going to take the time that's needed to heal and set that solid foundation. So a part of me is really excited. And once I get it over with, it'll be a chapter
Yeah.
closed and a new chapter beginning.
Yes, to be continued.
To
But
be
I wish you
continued.
the easiest surgery, the best
Thank
recovery. We'll
you.
be praying for you.
Thank you.
I
You
know you
too.
well, so I will definitely send you some encouraging
Please
messages.
do call me and check on me. But
I will.
yes, I really appreciate you, girl. And let's talk again. I think we should have this conversation again after both of our surgeries, like maybe like the
Yeah,
top of the year. Give you a 6 weeks to heal. Me 6 weeks to heal. I'll be right in front of you, and we'll talk about how we feel then. I think it'll be really interesting.
absolutely. And thank you for this platform. Thank you for doing this. You just, yes, all the things.
Thank
Seriously.
you. Thank you for your bravery. It's not easy to talk about this, like we're not talking about it. And I
Yeah,
really feel like this is going to help someone. There's someone that's going to see themselves and, take action for their health and their body. So, thank you,
yes,
Jenna.
absolutely. Thank you.
Have a
Thank you
good
so much. Have a good
one.
night.
Good night. Bye,
Bye.
girl. That was good, y'all. I got to go pick up my mother. But so many women, and we're going to continue to tell their stories about how they have suffered just being a woman. That's all I got, y'all.